Welcome back to Insights at DDLynn Designs, a unique twist in the ancient art of wire. This is DDLynn, and I thought I'd show you guys today how to do a faceted, how to wrap a faceted gemstone so that you can set it in a design that you're doing. This is a big stone. This is a 6mm faceted, beautiful rainbow cut white sapphire. So it's a little big for this because by the time we get the wire around it, it's going to be filling in all that space. But the whole idea is to set a bunch of little stones so that later when you're creating a design, this is actually a cab wrap faceted peridot. And this is a cab wrap, meaning I literally cab wrapped it. Again, a 6mm aquamarine. It's to be able to set it in your piece. So either you're going to add it as part of your bail or you're going to tuck it in. So this is actually tucked in and wrapped in the back. But the whole concept of this is wrapping a faceted bead or gemstone so that you can set it in your design later. So I cut 7 inches of round wire. You can use square. This is 20 gauge. If you're going to use square, I would use a 21 gauge square because 20 gauge square is going to look very big and bulky. And so I've measured, so I've got 7 inches of 20 gauge round wire. I've measured 2 3/4 inches back. I've measured my faceted gemstone, so I'm going to be using the number 4 to create my loop. And we can open that up or not, just depends. So all I'm going to do is just make a loop, and then I'm going to cross it over. Then I'm going to set my stone down in there, and I can already see that's probably a little small. It is, so let me show you on the back. I wanted to cover the back of the stone just a little bit more, but I don't want to cover the entire stone or my gemstone is going to slip out. So this cute, what do they call it, a cutelet? A cutelet. The cutelet, which is the point of the gemstone, is obviously very narrow, like a cone on the bottom, so it's going to sit on here. It's not going to fall out. Okay, so now I'm just going to open it up just a little bit, and I'm going to do that with my needle nose because I need to slide it down the needle nose to spread the loop out. So these are some good tips. Let me get over here so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to slide it down, just stretch my loop out a little bit. That's all I want to do. I just wanted it a little bit bigger. So I'm going to put this over the back of my stone. That looks pretty good to me. Then the short side is going to be the back. You're going to be having the short side on the back, so it's coming underneath and away, and the long side on the front. I'm right dominant, so being right-handed, I'm going to be wrapping to the right. And I'm just going to, still bugs me a little bit. I want to open this up just a little bit more. So I'm going to open here. I'm using my pliers just to give me some leverage. Okay. Let's see. It's very fiddly, everybody. Okay, that's better. For me, I like that better. Some people will make, this technique has been around for thousands of years. This is a very ancient art. It predates the Phoenicians by 5,000 years. And there are many different ways to do this when we're just doing the circular wrapping around a gemstone. But some people will make a little tiny loop and then keep making the loop over the back until they get from the front to the front. That's a lot of wire, but that's okay. It just depends on, what you want to do. So now I'm going to take the short side right here and right at the neck. I'm going to straighten it up into a 90 or an L, however you process. Then I'm just going to hold my thumb right here at the neck and I'm going to swing this wire down a little bit, just giving myself a head start. I'm going to drop my gemstone in here, if I can. And this is the hard part. It gets very fiddly. I have to hold the stone so you can't see it, but I'm going to start wrapping And I'm shifting the piece. So I'm going to shift my piece back. Make sure that I'm keeping my stone as center in the hole where that back loop is. Very, very fiddly. And I'm really pushing as I'm rounding that wire, then shifting it around. I'm coming up on the inside of the stone now. I want to come above this wire here in the back. So I'm coming up and just on a very gentle angle, and I'm following the inside loop as I'm spinning this around. Got to get my hand out of the way. Now that looks a little loose to me. Let me show you where we're at. So all I'm going to do is very, very gently, be careful how you squeeze. Tighten that up a little bit. Pushing my stone back in there. Okay, now I'm going to keep following on the inside. Turning it, following. Turning it, following. Turning it, following. Everybody's got a different technique for this, so find what works for you. So you can stop right here. That stone isn't going to go anywhere. There's my other one. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to get my duckbill pliers. Sorry about my arm there, everybody. And before I tie this down, I'm just going to make sure that my wires, well, let's see, I got to get in there and do that from the back, are even, very gently, very gentle. You could go round again, but you're going to cover a lot of the stone. So now I'm going to squeeze this together over here. Just squeezing that inside wire around the stone a little bit more. So now I'm going to take the wire over the top and I'm going to swing it around the neck of the leg wire here. And I'm just going to keep doing that. When I get my first wrap in there, I'm going to cinch it down. So here we have it. So now you can set this in any design that you're making and keep both the wires if you think you're going to need them or not. So I can give you an example. I'm going to make some more wraps on this neck, and I'm just going to actually use my pliers to do that because I don't want to tweak my frame. Just making little adjustments. Okay, that's a lot better. So I'm just going to swing this around again. So let me find a frame here to see. I'm looking for that frame that I had out the other day. How you could set a stone in here. So you could either attach this to, as you're making your bell, this would be your middle wire. I'm always going to give you inspiration. So let's say like here, when I wrapped this gemstone, I had 2 wires coming out because I cab wrapped it. On this one, you've got the 1. So you could either push this one in the back, this is just an example, and then let this be part of your bail. So let's say you've got 2 wires on one side and 2 wires on the other, then you could easily incorporate this into your bail, even though this is already a finished piece. You just have to visualize it. and then you'd have your stone in there. So I just want to give you an idea, you guys, on that. So anyways, that's how you do it. I hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. It's really fiddly. It took me a long time. I particularly like to cab wrap my gemstones as much as I can. Let me show you what I'm talking about. But it's very difficult to do when you're working with this. So this is what I do is I will preset a lot of stones so that when I'm making a design, I have preset stones already. And then as I'm making the design, I can go in my little box here and go, wow, what do I want to put in there? What will work in there? So this is a cab wrap faceted peridot. And this is very hard to do. I don't know how I could teach this because it takes me hours. Then this is a very difficult wrap. This is a museum grade iolite. I've had it for, oh my God, since I met my husband when I was 42. A long time. I'm not going to date myself. So I did a tutorial on this to how to wrap a cap like this for a bracelet. And anyways, I'm just giving you inspiration on presetting your stones. This is similar to that idea. This was very hard to do. But then I can never remember the name of these little feet here. And so right before I did the faceted cab or faceted gemstone, I did a little 5mm flat back cab just to have it in my box, amethyst. So I just want to give you inspiration. So this is what I'm talking about with square wire. This is a 21 gauge square. And remember I said you can make little loops on the back. So what I did is I created a little spiral, smaller than the stone. And if you want to see that, let me know, okay? So I create a little spiral. Then I set the stone on the back and started where my spiral is coming around right here. You see this? So it's coming around, spiraling. And then I started to wrap the cab until I got up to the top and then wrapped around the neck and then made a little bail. So this could be hanging from a piece. Anyways, just want to give you some inspiration. Here's another piece that eventually I'll be setting. This is in sterling silver. Very time consuming to do this because you're weaving all of your wire with 30 gauge wire there. But it's like a cab wrap, but a little bit different. So I just want to give you some inspiration. Here's a little ruby I can use later to set in something, anyways. Give me your feedback, y'all. Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for being a part of this magical ancient art of wire. Let me get my piece out. I wish for all of you, all that you wish for yourselves. I guess I should end with this, right? Have a wonderful, magical wire wrap day. Bye for now.